What you see here is a 1968 Dart 270 four-door slant six. Now, this isn't really in my wheelhouse, but I got a really good deal on this, and this is my dad's favorite car ever. So I've always grown up with this being like the pinnacle of Mopar, and now I can have one. So really psyched about it. It was love at first sight. I got this for fractions of what you'd pay for these two doors. I mean, I've seen two doors with like nothing left. Holes through the fucking floor. You got holes in the trunk. You got missing glass. Shit's broken. The fucking dashboard's falling apart. Like, this thing was really clean. The interior is in great shape with the exception of the seats, which are currently being restored. So while it started cheap, it's quickly ramping up in costs as part of the restoration efforts. So these seats were original bench seat, but they were fucked. So I reached out to SMS Auto Fabrics, and I could not believe it. They had the original proper materials. And I'm looking forward to showing you these when they're done. This is a 68. Only all 68 Mopars have these. So that's a cool little thing. This is the Dart 270, as you can see by this molding. This stripe is not original. This isn't even the original color of this car. This was, what was it, light green poly. I can't remember the paint code, but I'm sure we'll get into that detail at some point. The stripe is wrong for 1968, in addition to not being for this. So one day I might paint it. We'll get over that detail. But for now, it looks cool and sporty, along with these 14-inch rallies. Again, another not so period correct thing. Those started after 1970. This is a 68. So, but it's a small bolt pattern. For those of you who have maybe dabbled with A-bodies, they use the small 4-inch bolt pattern. Pain in the ass, really limits your wheel selection. So the end game is to get this converted to a 4.5-inch bolt pattern. And some of you who like the car may be sad to see this, but I'm probably going to end up parting out the Diplomat and salvaging my 4.5-inch bolt pattern components like the control arm spindles, 11 3/4-inch brakes, and swap them over to this vehicle. But that is down the road, and hey, realistically, it may never even happen. So what I'm going to do now in the short term is I need to get this thing through safety. So there are a few holes in the floor I noticed. For the most part, the body held up very well. This is a barn find car. This was in some old man's barn, like an hour and a half from the city. That Z-Bart rust protection they had done when this thing was restored in the early 2000s did a pretty good job, but not perfect. So one thing in particular, it looks like somewhere around here behind the front wheels, it started to rot out under this particular seam. And then that allowed water in, which then led to some surface rust and a few other holes that I am in the middle of repairing. This vehicle has 9-inch brakes. For some reason, they managed to bust 2 wheel studs off of these things. What you may not know is you can't buy these studs. These had reverse threads, so the threads went backwards, lefty, tighty, righty, loosey, just on the driver's side, so they were opposite. You can't buy those studs anymore, but Dorman does make the wheel studs, but only in the correct righty-tighty fashion. So I have already swapped those over because, well, one of them was busted and they were just fucking annoying. So original 9-inch brakes are still on this thing. Maybe a 355 gear. Should be fine. It's a 904, 225 slant 6. Let's open the door here. Oh, fuck. You fucking cocks. No. I got a new carpet. It's like somewhere on the other side of the car. Rock Auto, they have those. Wasn't super expensive. I was able to ship it to Canada, reasonably priced. The interior in this thing fucking stinks. It smells like rats had an orgy in there. It's fucking. It smells like a barn. smells like a fucking like 50-year-old library book, all mixed into one. Disgusting. So I'm trying to replace as much soft material as possible, including that seat upholstery and the carpet, and I'm hoping that that improves the smell of this thing because, yeah, my wife doesn't even want to sit in the fucking thing. Dog doesn't seem to mind, but he eats shit. So, in addition to floor rust, the torsion bar mount let go literally as I drove it onto the trailer. So that needs to be repaired. I'm gonna try and like do my own fabrication for this. Like you can buy Auto Metal Direct makes a complete replacement cross member because that is a very common problem with these cars. But I only need to do the driver's side, and it's just around the area, so I'm just going to try and repair that. They're not super expensive, but it is a gigantic pain in the ass to replace. They're held in with a bunch of these little spot welds from the factory. So to do that, you need to drill out all of those spot welds or remove the floor, which a lot of people do, and I'm just not ready to do that yet. I don't think it's necessary considering the few rust spots. So we'll get there. Now, I don't know if this tank is bad. When you remove the gas cap, it smells fucking awful. I couldn't get any fuel to pass through the line. Regardless, though, just like the brake lines, that fuel line is in terrible shape. So I don't think it's a good idea to use it regardless. So I've given up on the idea of trying to preserve this fuel system as is because, again, the gas in it's almost 20 years old. I'll just run a new line. I have no issues bending line and stuff. Like most of this brake line's already been done. I'll show you some of that too. Here's my brake lines. Just bent these up. I really like this, nickel copper, whatever. So that's the original little block in there. I cleaned that up. New lines, new flex hose. So the only thing I'm left to do for that is I got to get this hard line from the distribution block to this flex line, but I'm not going to do that until I'm done welding up my floor. Yeah, maybe I'll even put a video out there of me doing some line flares and stuff. Some people I talk to think it's like some crazy art. I am not by any means a professional, and if I can do it, I'm sure you can too. So maybe I'll get around this year to putting in a little tutorial on that, if that's something you'd like to see. One other thing, this came with a set of fiberglass fenders, which is super cool. It's a four-door, so I don't think I'm going to do like a super stock kind of theme thing, but these fenders do have some rot, particularly up here and around the marker light, and the lip isn't the best. So if and when I get around to shooting it with a new coat of paint, I don't really feel like taking them down. I'd put them up into storage because I won't need them for a while. But that's a cool little piece of Mopar history. They are vintage. I don't know what era they are, but they're old and they're super cool. All right, well, I've done a lot of talking. There's an update on the project, and I'm hoping in the next couple of months that I can have this thing safetied and on the road, and I would love to take you for a drive. Thanks for watching.